showed you a quick video while I had the car powered on and did a little driving through, and then while I'm outside I'll do kind of a condition rundown for what I see. Other than a bouncy speedo needle, it really operates like it should. Aftermarket AFR gauge, shifts really smooth, the power's direct. Didn't take long to warm up and start running accurate. Now he's got 3-inch exhaust all the way through. I think a top end rebuild. I'll confirm whether or not the turbo's been gone through, but just for what I see here, I'll kind of start with the interior and then move around the outside. So yeah, for its price point, you know, you do have original style door cards, standard wear just for where the arms moving around. You get into a little bit of the aging, you know, rubber seals. Those have probably been replaced once before, but that contact just shows some minor tearing there. Outside of the door, same thing. I'd probably put a new rubber door seal kit on it. See indications of where it's been resprayed. Really, there's almost a perfect line here, so yeah, I know it's been sprayed maybe once or twice before. This owner only claims to know that it's been sprayed that one time. Get a little bit of just minor overspray, like say on the rubber seals there. And I'd say it's, you know, close to a higher quality paint job. Not winning the show awards anytime soon. It's got a stretch seat cover over it now. That has been patched, so I'm glad to at least pull those off and see how the condition checks out. Passenger seat actually looks great. It really doesn't show too much for the wear and tear. I know outside top corner has a little bit of a stitching blowout on it, nothing major. Original console, got the elbow wear there. Click button. And the dash itself, the leather over the dash, the stitching looks in good shape. He's got a wheel cover that's pretty tight there, so I'm not going to remove that. You do have a minor, not even a split, but just where that plastic shows a little separation over time. No cracks through the dash or anything like that. So kind of borderlines, you know, refreshed in the right places, but it's got that survivor element to it as well. Kind of the added side door guards. Yeah, the wheels and tires are in great shape. Those look newly replaced. You know, towards the front end, the paint consistency is there. You get a little bit of, you know, minor movement play with the original plastics. Those will start to brittle over time. So these actually look pretty good. Little headlight lens split. You know, really just, you'd notice them if you get really close up on it. And I want to, you know, divulge kind of what I see here. Still looks nice and consistent. Looks like there's been a paint touch-up mark here. This nose cone actually shows maybe more original versus the respray on the black surface, but you know, I can see my reflection pretty well, other than minor kind of getting orange peel and a little bit of speckling just onto the paint. I'll see if I can highlight that. Yeah, like say where the sun comes in. Got a little, I wouldn't say trash under the paint, but there's a reaction there. So let me just go around. Panels look straight. You know, no major door sag. Rubber looks good. You get the bottom kind of texture coating, rock chip on the door. Looks like the badges were moved up a little higher, or where those came off, those left a little imprint. So chip. Alright, so say on the rear wheel, likely be an original. If they've been rechromed, it's probably some time ago. You know, it's standard for the black paint flake in there. I've got oxidation, some surface level buildup on the front wheel, or excuse me, the middle of the barrel there. They're probably all going to have that. All four wheels. Badging looks good, panel fitment looks good. The rear trunk area actually shows nice, but then you can really start to see kind of some fine line paint hiccups there. On the rear and then towards the top, there's a little split, small seam, dead center on the trunk. Nice and consistent all the way around. This panel looks pretty good. Nothing too far. Little paint touch up there. I wouldn't even say it's split, but it's starting to show a little stress. So I say it's pretty deep for the clear, but the prep work does show a little bit of kind of some texture and some grooves and things like that underneath. You know, mind you, late 80s car, it's going to have some of that, but you know, didn't undertake the $10,000–$15,000 paint job that some of them get to. This passenger wheel shows to be a little better, minor oxidation towards the outer edge of the barrel. The logo on the middle of the center cap's showing some just bubbling, probably due to heat over time. And then the black painted inserts on the barrel of the wheel, those show out or somewhere. Yeah, so I think a straight car, you know, a good candidate for something you want to take out and actually drive and enjoy. Looks like all the options work like they should. I think that's really the worst of what I see. Got a little bit of some seam split there, and then that area I mentioned on the roof back here, almost like what the trunk was doing, where it started to split. They didn't want that water to get there, so he brought it to us with a little, just some Scotch tape, keeping that down, keeping the moisture out. I don't know if you can see all that texture. Yeah, there's a little bit of it where my reflection kind of goes clear and then really starts to wave off. Yeah, you can see where they kind of spot check some of the paint. I've got some runs, texture down to the rocker. The rear seat shows well. Carpet's got a little bit of dust and grime in it, but not too torn up. Under panels, dash still looks good. So here is that top corner that shows a little bit of the, almost like maybe somebody tried to use a fabric pen and dye that better. Rear seats actually show really well, other than some slight sun fading just on the back of the top headrests here. Pretty standard. You get that discoloration down to the lighter material. Back here I've got minor discoloration. So yeah, the few areas I highlighted condition wise, I'd want you to see that ahead of time. And then this door panel does not show the same amount of kind of upper armrest, pretty standard, or excuse me, upper armrest wear. Let me go underneath it real quick too for the rear. I'll show off the exhaust he's got in there. Just shorten to the dump. The tank and the filler neck, probably not original to the car. Actually took to the road and drove really nicely. There's a little bit of paint flanking under this area here. Actually, front to back has it. Yeah, so really, you know, we turn them away if they've got major rusted elements, any sort of frame or structural issues, other than some of the surface level paint kind of flaking off towards the top there. You don't see a whole lot of bends or hammer marks where this thing's been kind of put through the ringer. The exhaust looks pretty good. I'll go to the front of the cab now, get underneath it, and then I'll get this over to you. Go make sure we have passenger front wheel, same. They could be lived with. Don't have to rush to get them recombed or redone, but being a factory kind of style wheel, standard wear and tear there. I don't see any of the paint blemishes other than chips that the bumper took that were painted over. Those actually look nice and consistent. And for this gentleman, it was definitely a kind of, you know, fun weekend car, secondary, something he just kept nice with him through his ownership. That front bumper's got some minor paint blisters on it. Leave the hood open for you as well. And what you see out the gate being a little newer, turbo refresh, top end rebuild, back to coolant overflow, tank, bigger radiator. Most everything else looks nice and factory.